Oh my gosh. Hello, 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 hello. Um, Happy Thursday. And my gosh, I want to say a couple things while we allow for the more people to join. The course that I have been on um, for the last, I'll just say 5 years or so, has been a very eye-opening journey for me. And it's as time has gone on, that things have gotten lighter. And I have felt through the course of the last just about 24 to 48 hours that a lot of things had been lifted, that had been trying to escape and change and form in new ways for a long while now. So, as we say, we allow the ultimate, we just allow ourselves to be in alignment with our true, authentic selves in all ways, completely to 100% now. And the more that you can align up with that, the more that this channeling is going to make sense for you. So allow yourself to align with whatever version of that feels right for you right now, because the energy that's coming out right now is the emergence of the true self. And what that means is who we are as energy saying, what can I become? Right? And for us, it kind of is, who can I become? But the more that you allow that journey to come into fruition for you, the more that you're going to find that the world around you starts to make more sense. And as I have been going about my path in the last few days, I have come to understand that the wisdom and the energy that is emerging now is available for everyone to line up with if they are ready and willing to accept the path of change and release resistance to change all around them. So they were showing me in tarot, it would be the Ace of Wands, right? So we're ultimately talking about forward movement, right? And moving forward and moving on in new and powerful ways in our life. And so it is forward movement and new lights and alignments with information. And so, right now, what is coming up for the world is a space to look at and to observe your life and what it is that you're thinking, what it is that you're doing, and what it is that you're experiencing, and how you may be able to look at things, express things, enjoy things, and work through life in a different way. Jess, I must share that today I actually started to do a deep, I'm not going to say clean, I'm going to say purging. I started with I don't know if I started with, I think I started in the kitchen, but in this room, and just all of these books that I have collected and things, but books was a lot of it over the years of really other people's knowledge and experience. And these were leadership books that I have collected over the last 20 years. And I was like, oh, but these are my leadership books. You know, it's like crucial conversations, influential, I didn't even say it, leadership, the 7 habits, and all of those. Thank God it's Monday. And I was like, I don't really need any of that anymore. But I was like, why am I still holding on to this outdated way of life of following other people's memories and experiences? And so I filled a, I don't know how many gallon, the big size tote that I have full of leadership. I was other books in there too, outdated spiritual books, and that was basically in leadership books. I kept the art books, the like how to do fun crafts, and then tarot and things like that, a couple of them, and a couple of spiritual books that were just kind of fun for using for reference, right? And the ones that I still had that were not in this room, like the Baba Gita and things like that, they just weren't in this room. It doesn't actually have a bookshelf. And it has a little shelf in the corner. And I share this because it feels lighter to me now. The knowledge that I removed to take down to dispose of and allow other people to enjoy if they might. Um, and because I think people are still reading these books, but it really is a reminder that energetically, when you release these energies that are old, these ideas that are outdated, that you're no longer resonating with, the things that it's like, but these are like all of the coveted leadership books and John Maxwell's leadership Bible. And I'm like, I would never want to sit down and read that anymore, right? And so it's letting go of those concepts. And so it was easier for me now than the last time that I like moved them around, because the energy that I'm in now is also getting rid of things that are no longer in alignment with me. And so when we started there, it is to be in alignment with your true authentic self. And so what does that mean for you? What things is it that you are ready to remove and release from your life in order to feel lighter in general with your life? And so books was just kind of one section that I was explaining to you how people can kind of feel about them. And the lesson here is to allow your inner guidance to be what guides you, and your experience and what it is that you have learned, and the understandings that you know beyond any other explanation to be true, because it's things that we've talked about and you've seen actually take place, energetically transform in your life. And so this life-changing moment for me was just the beginning of this cycle for this particular moon cycle, which we'll be talking about tomorrow. And it is releasing the old, stagnant, stale, dark energies to allow for the state of flow. And as I've been exploring my healing journey, and my guidance comes from now, and it has for a while, my own soul. When I'm channeling, and the guidance that I receive is guidance from my own soul, my own higher self. And what that really means is tapping into the knowledge of what it is that you've experienced and understood at every energetic level throughout this life, and what you have seen in others in the world around you and what's happening. And I have come to understand that there are the energies that you're working through, right? And all of the things that you experience energetically. and taking the time to really make sure that you processed all of that. And that's what the majority of our work here has been up until this point, is processing the energy that we went through. What we're encouraging you to do now is to take the next step and to say, I allow myself to release all of the energies that are not my own, that are no longer serving me, and that certainly aren't for anyone's highest good. And I allow those to just be gone. I allow those to be done and for that chapter to have ended. And that was something they had shared with me, happened a while ago. At one point in my journey, I was kind of recording things, and then that would have been kind of a full-time job. And so now I'm just like, oh, cool, and go along with my life. And so then it was understanding that, also ensuring that you have released all of those things from your energy cycles, yes, right? But also from your physical reality, from your physical body, right? So that whatever it is that needed to be processed within your physical body is processed. And then that was an experience that I have shared as well, where I have found that my body felt as though it was a lot lighter and able to be resilient and free in new and powerful ways. And so they shared with me that had been completed as well. And in my journey, I was like, right, so then what's next? Right? And along my journey, a lot of times they would say, you're healed. And many times they meant a specific layer, right? And then it meant my energy body and the lessons and belief systems that I had been working through. And then it was my physical body and releasing that. And that's where I shared, and I think I have shared with you, I would call him a close personal friend at this point, my massage therapist, because I see him every fortnight or so, every couple weeks. And it has been a large part of the energy release of my physical body, as well as the hot cold shower routine and the red light therapy that I do, and simply playing my energy videos in the Reiki sessions that I was doing on myself were a part of that as well. And then what I had been experiencing, I'm sharing this because I want it to be an energetic understanding of your energetic journey as well, so you can understand some of the different things. And there were absolutely physical healings that were taking place throughout my journey. But what I want to share with this piece of information, and they have been telling me I'm now in a greater state of energy to be able to sit down and write some of this out in a greater way, to understand it, to be able to share it, that is an easy reference tool and memorandum of these sorts of things that you guys are really understanding at a cellular level now. And so I had understand it, and I absolutely felt a difference at the energy cycle level and at the physical body level. And then they shared with me last night that the physical body level had been completed, and it was last night, or I think it was last night. And it was a while ago, but that we were working on it. And basically that the energy was done. It was being processed completely out of my system. And they said, now we're working on the energies of flow. And we talked about this in some of your sessions this week. And it really is not just what energy were you in, what was the energy that you were in and why, and what was the energy that other people were reflecting back to you because of the choices. And in some cases, And this is why it helps when people are routinely around you throughout this journey, because they're able to see and they're there and they see you every day or every week or whatever, right? They're able to see the energy progression and they're able to see that energy and line up with it. And the reason that you have made such amazing transformations in your own lives and within yourselves are because um you were able to see and to make the changes to understand energetically what another choice may be, to make those choices, to understand them, and to align with them as you were ready and able to. Because the energy work is once you remove the energy of the choice that you were making, right? Either the choice of how you were responding energetically, how you were believing, how you were acting, what it does is it allows you to make a new choice and it's easier to do it. And it's also easier if you're aware of the choice that you were making and why you were making it, right? And that's sometimes why understanding your journey to a certain extent is helpful. So you can understand the energies that you grew up in, the beliefs that you cultivated, to be able to understand the choices, to release the energy. So we say we release the energy of all of our choices and cycles, right? The choices and the cycles and the stages that we were in completely, including infinite cast cycles and stages. And that is really, when we talk about karma, it is the energy that you were creating in any way. And they talk about it sometimes in forms of action. I would say that absolutely is true because the 3D forms of it are more like getting rid of your books versus the 5D form is getting rid of or changing your actual thoughts, right? And so when you do the 3D actions, and I did the 5D actions first, I guess, and then it's easier to do some of those other things. And when you understand them and start to look at the world in a better way, because the more that you present an energy example, the easier it is for other people to see it, to witness it, and to line up with it. And it is through the way that you are thinking, the way that you are speaking, the way that you are acting that allows for other people to align with that journey in a greater way. And so it comes down then to how you were living and moving in great and more wonderful ways. And then it comes down to how were the people around you responding energetically and physically to the choices you were making in a different way. And so that final stage is really ironing out the energy response of your mother, most likely, um, and of your parents, of your family, of your friends, of your coworkers. But you're going to see it most likely for the group that's actually here. And I'm including the other things for those that may join or witness this at a different time. It's really what is the energy that you were embodying that they were energetically still reacting to in less than what you would consider a positive way, right? And so it is that energy flow and allowing any blockages in your flow of energy because of how you were responding to your new energetic pathway, as well as how others were responding in that energy cycle. And so the more that you're moving in a lighter way, the more that you believe in the positive potential for yourself, for your mother, for your family, for your lover, for your friends, for society at large, the more that we see these things start to break away. And so it's really the Facebook challenge. So today I kind of had an image of Facebook breaking away, and I was like, that's weird. I don't really do Facebook. I mean, I have it still. I haven't like deleted it or anything. And they said that was the energy that people will be lining up with. Like, instead of feeling like it's so important to share your life with the world and with other people, can you instead say, wow, I just choose to share this moment of joy with myself, with my partner, with my family, with those around me. And I choose to embody the energy of sharing in this joy, right? And for the only thing that I share to be joy. And I don't even necessarily momenticize this particular moment because I know there's going to be greater and greater joy. And if this is my level of joy now, I am excited and willing to understand and witness the joy that is coming down for me next in line. And as I was going through my shower therapy this morning, I was likening myself to understanding that it is finding joy and recognizing the change that I've already been in, and then recognizing that there's greater and greater change coming. There was a moment yesterday as I was starting this purging process. So I have my new, whether or not we call it new anymore, but I have my organic that is all natural fiber clothing of what do I want to say, bamboo and organic cotton that I wear pretty much all the time. And I thought, ooh, I don't know if I want to wear my organic cotton bamboo pants when I'm cleaning the toilet. And the energy response that I had to that was like, find another solution. Because what I did is I took out some of my old polyester pants and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I could do it in my underwear, right? That's kind of what it was. And I found a pair of shorts that were 100% cotton. They're like, try the shorts. And I was like, oh, you're right. I don't care what happens to those like tie-dye shorts that I have. I will totally, totally wear those. And I share that simply because allowing yourself to align with greater versions and continue to align with greater versions and to witness that change will continue. That one of the constant things that we can recommend to happen is to continue to allow for greater change, to align with it, to be thankful for it, right? Whenever you find something to be thankful for. And I'm thankful for my clothes every time I put them on. And I'm like, I'm so glad that I made this choice, right? It was a financial investment, I guess I would say, of just baseline clothes that I now thrive in and am very, very happy with. And so the thought of like doing something else just really no longer resonated with any fiber of my being, which was true. I think you would know that, right? But um I was like, I'm just going to, and like, I have a couple pair of jeans that have like some amount of it, but these were just such a very big difference. They're like, no, I think there's a better solution. My energy reaction to that was, how about something really, really different? Because that energy disparity was so far apart from where I had been at that it didn't make sense at all, right? And so that is what I share with you today. And to be fair, a lot of it is the more that you make that choice, you're committing to a better choice. And the same thing goes, and I think we shared this when we were talking, like if you're watching a show and that anything, any sort of programming that someone has created, whether it's a YouTube show or a television show or a movie, whatever it is that you are witnessing, it's like, are you participating? It's like, what conversations are you participating in? Are they at the level of choice that you're at? Because if they're any lower, you're going to feel a resistance. And so that may have been what you were experiencing is this didn't align. It was like eating something that you were no longer in alignment with, or wearing something that intentionally that you knew you were no longer in alignment with, right? I know we shared that experience as well. And or hearing it, right? Or witnessing it on television. So I just encourage you to feel into, does this feel like a progressive show that is making better and better choices, that is aligned to a higher timeline that I can witness? And I'm not saying that that it needs to be that they are wearing organic cotton and eating a vegan lifestyle, but can you see that the energy choices that they're making are at a higher energetic timeline? Because it really is the cycle of choices that you're making. When we talk about timelines, it really is where are you at and where are you moving towards? So when we make energetic predictions, and it's kind of rare. We do give them in a monthly hypothesis occasionally, and we gave one for the year, and we do it on the full moon cycle. It's usually for an understanding of what it is that we're being asked to do. But when we do make an energy prediction, it is because the energy momentum towards the particular choice cycles that people have been in is so large and so consistent, that you can predict what it is that is coming, what is that's going to happen, right? When you've been in a cycle for so long that the energy has built up to a certain degree, you can predict certain things. So society is now in a pretty big cycle of upheaval. And I do not choose most of the time to witness this in any significant way. I just choose to enjoy my day and to have a wonderful experience no matter what it is that's going on. And I'm really loving that my room feels lighter now and that I want to continue with this process. And I know that you'll be able to more easily now that I've started that as well. And what it really has been for me, the template that they're sharing that I was really laying the foundation for was yes, I did periods of purging, and it usually had to do with clothes and like taking them to the Goodwill or something like that, um, taking a shower, cleansing my home, just basic stuff. But this purging that I'm doing is now because what I prioritized was the energetic cycles of my life and really mastering those choice points so that when I made these physical things, it was very poignant and to the point in a very 3D way that will be in greater moment of shifts for others to align with if and when they're ready. And so, what I want to share, and for anyone ever who encounters this transmission, that the greatest way that you can make the shifts in society, absolutely, as I stand here, I'm sitting, as I stand here, I am saying this out loud to a group of people who are here willingly in order to share in this co-creation, as you will, of this energetic shift. But when you choose to embody these energies at a spiritual level, at an emotional level, and then at a 3D level, so you have let go of the cycles of energy of karma in your 3D energy cycles. You have let go of them in your physical body, and you have let go of the energy plays around you. And then you are living a life that is in alignment with what feels right for you. That is the greatest alignment that people can line up. What they've been sharing with me in the last, I will say, like 48 hours is the greatest thing. And I think I have shared this before, and I will mimic that again. That the most important thing that you can do, and at this point they said it's just a given, right? That you love yourself, that you do what is right for yourself at every given moment in time. So today, it was kind of letting go of that 3D cycle that we're sometimes in. And so I got up, I made my bed, I did the 6-minute video, I meditated, and then I took a shower, and then I did my upper yoga. Then I rested for a while. I really felt like I wanted to allow my energy to process what it is that I had done. I rested for like 30 minutes or so before I did my morning Kriya. And then I drink juice, and then I rested again before I did the next step. And it really felt like today that was what made sense. And it was like I had in my 3D self just kind of thought, today is the day where I start this purging. And I am capable of accomplishing a great deal when I need to. And they said that wasn't really what it was about. It was about not having a forced energy, releasing the energy of forcing yourself to do anything, and simply allowing yourself to go with a greater energetic flow. So the energy you're feeling is a tightness around that. And it is one that I have been embodying for a while now. This one was embodying doing the processes first and prioritizing caring for my own mind, body, and soul. Oh my goodness, as well as allowing time throughout my day just to incorporate different processes, right? And it really just meant allowing myself to sit, right, before I actually did anything else, right? And you can incorporate this into your day, right? By taking a few minutes to stop and do some pranayama, like alternate nostril breathing, or any sort of balancing energy within yourself. And you could do some chanting. That's also very powerful. Um, by prioritizing meditation in your day. And so that's the way that kind of my day unfolded. And then I I I paused again, and I like took out the trash, and then I made dinner and did the dishes, and then I rested, and then I did the purging activity. And so I encourage that sort of thing, that it isn't about, and that allowed for a great deal of momentum. What I want to share is that going with whatever it feels like is what your body wants to do, allowing your body to process things in the time that it needs, right? And your energy body allows for a far greater level of love and peace and joy in your life. And so letting go of the need to do things on any particular time cycle is very, very, very powerful. And that is one that I continue to align with and help you to do so as well. And it is prioritizing the things as you need to prioritize them allows you to be in alignment for whatever it is that's coming up for you. So, the sheer witness that we want you to have today is to understand that the the haze is being cleared. That the more that you just understand this, the clearer your energy becomes. The more that you can see the energy that I have cultivated, the path that I have laid, that you're able to align with these principles. And to just say, I choose to be in alignment with my highest true self to the highest of my potential completely, and to allow for the energetic forces that are needed at any given juncture of time to be part of what it is that I do in this moment and beyond. So the energy injunctions are what it is that we're releasing now. And what it means is any path that you are on, we are allowing you to align to the path of just the path of least resistance. It is the path of taking time to do what feels right in any given moment in time. And sometimes it is because you have a deadline, and those will continue to fall out of time as they're no longer needed in your life, but know that as things align, right? So part of my work today too was drinking water and eating fruit, and that was also done in a way that was in alignment with our meeting today, right? And so, whatever feels like the right time to do something may be different based on a path of least resistance of things that just made sense for you to do at any given moment, right? Because time in and of its essence is the energy alignment of the cycles that you're in, the choice cycles that you make. The more that you understand that it's simply a choice to move from one frame to the next, the more that you will see the world becoming less complex and just your choices feeling easier and lighter. And when you let go of the energetic byproducts that you're trying to take on for others and say, I release the need to care for my mother first and foremost over myself. And I choose to prioritize living and loving for myself as the foremost thing in my life. That was mama. The more that you do that, the more that your choices also become about yourself, right? And when you have made those choices for yourself and you can embody what it means to be loving yourself, then others around you can see that and can more easily align to it. And when you're in this energy of just believing that you do create your own reality, of understanding that what it is that you ultimately believe creates the reality that you are living in. And it is that we are living in a co-creative society. There are others out there that are also creating things and ideas and moving energy through their own thoughts, words, and actions and behaviors, right? But when you can be an example of how it feels so much nicer, right? When it feels so much better to feel alive, to feel what joy feels like, and to feel lighter, to feel free, to feel like you are the embodiment of unconditional light, right? And it is through that progression of understanding who you are, of understanding that love is believing in others' positive response towards you, of you towards yourself, and of others and yourself towards all energies around you, that the more that you have a belief that others can and will respond in positive ways, when you embody that belief and you live it, on every moment of every day, that is ultimately what transforms your day into a wonderful day. And when you take the time to meditate, you are preemptively understanding and correcting the energies and your energy responses and those of others throughout your day. And the longer that you do it, meaning each day, each time that you do it each day, and cumulatively, you are correcting the energy flows around you, your body, your energy responses, and of those around you as well. So the more that you understand what it is that you're doing energetically, the more powerful your energy becomes, and the more powerful that you are able to make better and lighter decisions in your life, from am I going to eat an apple or a piece of cake, to how is it that I'm going to choose to take the energy that I am living in and embody it into the world. What are the choices that I'm going to do for my own safety, for my own creativity, right? And for the rest of my hierarchies of needs, right? How is it that I am going to provide energetically and physically for myself? And do these things feel like the right thing to do for the sustainability of us as a collective and a planet as a whole? Because this is a cumulative, co-creative journey. And the more that we lay that foundation within ourselves, that is the ultimate, most powerful thing we can do. Because the more that we love ourselves and we embody that and make that our priority, the more that the world has that as a beacon to be able to see and to line up with. And anybody who comes into contact with that energy, if they are able to see the next lesson and step, they will align to it. Oh, okay. We want to take a moment also to shine some light on the future. So as we do that, what we can see is a great beacon of light opening for those in society that are willing and able to align to it. As you do this, and you already are, and if you found this transmission and got this far, you are already well on. And to recognize when your heart, mind, body, soul, and energy are at a state of energetic stability within the ultimate true self of unconditional love and believing in the positive response of others and the world around you as a collective, the more that we see things move in a great stride forward. And so those that align with that are ones that you want to continue to welcome into your life, and those that aren't, to allow them to fall away, because that is the separation that is happening in society now. It is already well underway. And it is, are you choosing to embody the energy of a lighter path? Because it will begin to be that this energy is striving, it is moving forward. You can feel the momentum that you've created in your life and the choices that you continue to make. And it will continue to change, and it will continue to be lighter as you continue to align up with each energetic choice that feels right for you at every given moment in time until it no longer does and you choose something else, right? And it is energetically aligning to what feels right now. So it's like I was doing something, I rested, and when I felt like that period was done, then I moved on to the next energetic sequence that I was building out. And so as you allow these things to happen and unfold in your life, it also includes allowing the people, the places, the things, the adventures, the energies, the continents to fall away that no longer make sense to you energetically. It is to allow for a greater potentiality. That it doesn't mean that for everyone, but it will for some. Mean that you are choosing to align with what feels right and what feels safe for you right now. So the energy future is laid out that those that can will, and those that do will be the ones that carry on the future for the planet as a whole. Because as these shifts happen, the people that are able to align energetically to making choices that are in the higher alignment with believing in the power of love, of that others can make wonderful choices and you can make wonderful choices. The more that you believe that, the more you see it at play in your life, the more that the world moves into a lighter place. And it won't be that those other energies don't exist. It will just be that they are no longer at play in your life. So whatever they are, whatever security systems you thought that you had, be ready and willing to let go of them as the time feels right, whenever that is. And know that the stability that you have in your life is generated through your own life force, the life force that resides within you, and your connection to the energy of the source that created the thought of what can I become. And that includes the God source and the source that we would call the source of love for each planet. There is that as well. And to understand that your alignment and your welcoming in of the source of love in your heart, your mind, your body, and your soul allows you to lift yourself up unto the love source creator of the earth, and to allow yourself, your words, and the works against you to be lifted up unto the God source of earth, and to allow that to be a transmutation that happens in you and around you, and that you always have that available to you now. And we ask for the earth itself to be lifted unto the God source creator, allowing those that can to align with the higher frequencies now, and allowing these sequences to continue to disembody the belief systems of earth that are no longer serving anyone. Okay. So that was a general energy reading. I do want to allow if you guys have any questions before we do the part. a really good lift that you guys did there today. It was good. Okay. So mm, the question is, what are we supposed to do now with that amount of information when we receive, right? So it's like, okay, I just got on this path, Michelle. What is it that I'm supposed to be doing now? And the first card is true love, but what you can see is a partner. So what we want to say here, and this was a clarifying thought that came up, so I'm going to share it. If you have chosen an energetic partner, a physical partner to be with, now allow that partnership to continue to exist and to be a rooted foundation within your life. This is understanding that if you take a trip, make it be together, right? That you are committed to this person for the long haul because you already have all the tools that you need in order to continue to see this succeed. So that is a very, very, very important card to understand. That if you are in a 3D union that feels right now, that energy will need to continue to exist and support you. And that in order to continue to see the changes that you want to in a partner, that you will need to continue to work with that partner day in and day out. I mean, every day. So the more that you see the people that you're working with every day, the more changes become paramount. So it's really important for you to understand that when you find that partner, allowing them to be in your presence, and for you, if that is what it is that you are finding, to allow yourself to be energetically in alignment with them is important, and to see the 3D energies that they have built out, that they are sustaining, that is what it's all about. And so it is the energy when I was talking about the most important thing in this love. This card actually says true love is love yourself and love your partner and believe in the power of that union, and what you're able to do together is far more powerful than anything you're able to do apart. So choose love for yourself and choose love with a partner, because it is that energy that we're working through now. When you understand the energy of the power of two, then you're able to energetically understand and move forward. And it is that they will be able to understand things at a far greater level and make the corrections that are needed to themselves and to their lives and to the world around them by being in your presence. And it can go for anyone, yes. Meaning, are you sharing the things that feel right to share at any given moment in time? It can also apply to pets, yes. And are the energies that they're in continuing to be uplifting and inspiring? Because when you have found a counterpart, in order to allow for the energies for them to be able to transmute the energies within themselves and to understand the codes that you have learned and embodied, then that transformation happens through the energy connection being very present, very visible for them to align to. And it also means believing in the power of that, believing in the power of what you know to create, to speak only what it is that you truly wish, that you truly desire in the most loving way possible, so that you're creating the world that you really want. And then the love of God part comes, because when you allow yourself to be there and to be a physical model. Now, this is if you choose to. You be a physical 3D, emotional, spiritual, energetic model to those that feel right for you to do so, right? So that they can understand the energy and begin to model themselves literally out of that energy to understand it, to make the changes so that they can, this is kind of what I'm going to call the embodiment card, right? So they can see the energy, they can witness it, and they can embody that energy. Then you're going to say, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. It's a special day. So that is a very, 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 very important understanding that the continued presence and understanding, that you're able to understand this now in the way that I speak because you choose to show up every week, right? You choose to make this a priority and to see the transformations in yourself and to feel the glory and the greatness of the presence of love within yourself. And this is really the energy we were talking about, lifting yourself up to the energy of the source of love of the planet to allow yourself to transform any energy that you need to. That is an energy that I have embodied throughout this journey. There's a video. There's a video clearing your energy through God's love. And that is a very powerful one. And it is now even more powerful than when I created it. And it is allowing yourself just to lift your energy to God and to allow that to be transformative. It is a really good one to have on loop now. Yes, that is a very good one. Because that is the energy that I have been embodying and working towards in the last 2 days. Day. There you go. So, that is a very powerful, powerful, powerful message. So, I know that that was a great and powerful energy shift that you guys felt as well. And I'm going to share the cards on the bottom of the deck were enlightenment and choices and passion. And what it really is are you receiving the message? Are you receiving the energies? Are you willing to receive the transmission and understand it in the highest potentiality to your true self that you can now? Are you aligning with the highest potential choices that you can in every moment in time and what actually feels right for you? And also, are you willing to model and speak only that which you truly desire and to be one that stands out among the crowd as a beacon for them to align? The messages are clear here, and it really is a very, 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 very powerfully transformative time right now upon the planet. And as you allow yourself to receive these energies and be receptive to this time, it gets more and more powerful. And it doesn't have to be any more complex than what can I do right now that feels right for me? And then the next moment is this, if you feel a shift, is there something else that feels more right for me right now? And they said, oh, here's a card that feels more right. And it is the power of forward movement. This is the Eight of Wands that is on the top of my tarot deck. And it is forward movement is happening. You're going to feel better and witness your life in more powerful ways if you allow yourself to let go of the cycles that don't feel right and allow yourself to move forward in ways that are the path of least resistance. We want to say that your wisdom is great. You have a great wealth of knowledge and understanding within you at a very cellular level. The more that you do what is my higher self? What does my inner guidance say? Rochelle, please be here with me and help me to share what it is that I need to share with this person. or to know what I need to know, or to go where I need to go, or to be what I need to be, to speak how I need to speak, and to align with my true self completely. And that is the most powerful thing right now. And that is the power of the love of God. And it is welcoming the alignment to your true self completely. Mm. Oh, I am so proud of how you were able to align to this energies and teachings. That's really all I would say about that. Like, it's just a very divine energetic alignment that the the more leaps that I make and the more that you're able to say I'm willing to go there as well, the more that that embodies upon the planet itself. And it's so true. And I think we're seeing it play out energetically around us. So um one of the things I find incredibly powerful, I live in Omaha, Nebraska at the moment. And as I have begun to travel in the last 2 years, I've noticed that number one, we're in December of 2025, that the growth of Omaha, Nebraska has expanded upon cities of this size and cities in general. And the airport has expanded. I mean, I've been traveling for a while now, right? My math phone showed up. That's funny. But the airport is now like bigger. Like the parking garage is through. They actually have two terminals now instead of one. And it is allowing for the expansion and allowing for people to line up with you in the energy that you're laying down more and more as the energy cycles change. That's just one that I found very entertaining. Not only that, but they have like an option for like vegetarian and vegan options and cage-free eggs at the Omaha airport. I was absolutely floored in the most wonderful way when I experienced that. It's like, I mean, that would be nice to have in LA. Um, but it was here that I witnessed it, and I was just, stop and just admired and said, "Thank you, God, for mine." And I encourage you to do the same for yourself. When you experience these things and like, I love my life. That was fun. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So the more that you do that, the more I love these cards too. Is there any questions that you have or anything that you guys want to share today? This is a pretty big energy transmission.
I just want to share that as you were showing the card and talking about true love, Chris came home and he's hanging around me.
That, that is
Chris is my
absolutely,
husband.
oh yeah. That is absolutely fantastic, right? And that is
I know.
the power of
Talking about alignment, right?
yes. And I was like, oh, by the way, this is the message that's coming out right now. Please understand. And I have the um have been a loving witness to the progression that you have made, as well as what you have shared with me. And I think it is a very divine understanding of how those cards came out. And look, it's like, did you get it, Tess? Did you get it? Oh, good, you did. Oh, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thank you.
Hmm. Hmm. That's what you're gonna say. I love my life. That's so fun. That's fun. I find that to be very, very fun. That's joyful. Joyful? Hmm. Joyful, joyful. How? Hmm. Is there anything else?
Can I just get clarification on that? Maria, are you back with your husband? Is that what happened in this moment?
You mean me, Jessica? I don't think Maria's in the
Sorry,
call.
I'm so sorry. Yes, and
You didn't understand the way I did of the power of this, so I will explain if you're okay with that, Justin, if you want to clarify
Yes.
that
Mm-hmm.
her husband works different hours, so they live together, they are together. It's just that as I was pulling the cards, he came home, and this is also an earlier time than he would, I know this, than he would normally come home because of the work that he does. So as I was pulling the true love card and saying, if you have picked a partner and they're married, right? That is wise to understand that you're continuing to be with that partner, to work with that partner, to see the transformation and to see the power and the transformation that you see in a partner through the changes that you're making when you're consistent in them and understand them, that they're able to line up with that. The cards were embodying that, and the energy of him showing up at that particular moment was in complete alignment with that. Does that make sense?
I understand now. I'm sorry. Yeah, no. And I knew she was married. I remember last year you were talking about New Year's, but the way you said it, it sounded very loving, honestly, and but it sounded like reunion energy. So that's kind of why I asked it like that.
You know what, though, Nicole? It kind of is. It is in a sense that he is able to continue to align with the energy of where it is that she's at a greater and greater way because she continues to show up and continues to embody the changes and understand the way that she's speaking and thinking the same way that you are, that she's actually seeing him align to that, to show up to be a cooperative component in her journey in ways that I will just say, wow, those goals, without going too much into that, right? And so I share that because it's true for any partner that anyone has. If it feels right, know that that continued effort of being around and seeing and working with them is very powerful. It also goes for any children. Um, for sure. Basically, they said, I will let destiny take its course. If I were to have children, they said there would be no way that you would let that child out of your sight for the first 12 years of its life. There was more to it than that, but I don't have that intention. I don't have that expectation. I simply say that the energy in the belief systems, and we talked about that last week, that you create through those formative years of your life, you want to be there and you want to be witnessing that and helping them to form their own opinions and what it is that they like and what it is that they prefer, and to do so without the burdens of other people's knowledge. It's like getting rid of the books. And so the more that you do that with a partner, and because those are the choices, whether or not you have a partner, whether or not you have children, and how you align with that in your belief systems and the energies, that the things that you learn and understand from a 3D level to a cellular level, and how your body responds and what it is that you can believe and energetically respond to is very important throughout that. So I share that just as kind of a nugget of inspiration of understanding what it is that you really sign up for when energetically. And I don't care what anybody else does or anything. And I certainly have come to these understandings through my own life that those choices are the formative decisions that you're signing up for in this life, whether or not you have a partner, whether or not you have children, and how it is that you commit to those energies in the formative foundations and the continuation of being able to be there and support one another unconditionally. And what that really means to me is that I believe in the power of you to respond positively no matter what. Same for myself, same for our family. And so that I think. Did you have a question about that? Kind of open. Hmm. Well, I want to say then is the final thing that it is technically the full moon tonight. But Wednesday was my massage appointment, so we will have the full moon ceremony, same time, same place, on Friday today. So I will see you all again very soon. Thank you.
Good
Thank you,
night.
Rochelle.
Night.
Love you. Good night.
Good night.